I can't look back, it's too late now. My days are hours and I don't know how, but I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Hello and welcome to the 72nd edition of the Breakfast Ball. I'm your host, Bob Cardia, and today I'm actually broadcasting from my lake. It's my little R&R spot that I go to now and again just to get away from things. So, feels good. Anyway, today is our 72nd Breakfast Ball, and the theme today is Never Say Never. Interesting because we had the PJ on in the background, and love watching that. I actually started to do some house stuff when Scotty took the 5-shot lead, and I said like, hey, I'm going to start doing housework because I think this thing is over, and then lo and behold, with 6 holes to play, it's a 1-shot lead. So can't wait to see how this turns out at the end, but I always, I should know better because just in life and in golf that, it's not over until it's over. As like my New York Knicks, they asked me, recently what I thought about the Knicks' possibilities of doing some damage in the playoffs. And I said, I believed, I thought they'd beat the Pistons, although that was a heck of a series. And the Pistons, hats off to them. That was a well-fought series. I didn't think the Knicks were going to beat the Celtics. And then lo and behold, even prior to the Tatum injury, I mean, the Knicks took the first 2 games, which I think shocked a lot of people. And as you know, or if you're just watching this for the first time, Jalen Brunson lived in Cherry Hill, New Jersey for a period there back when he was, I guess, 10, 11 years old. And he actually played in the league that I was a president of for Little League Baseball, and he played on my YMCA basketball team. So I always say, as you guys know, 10% when you're rich and famous. I'm still waiting for Jalen to say after one of these games that when he was 10 years old or so that I affected his life. But yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. But never say never, right? So anyway, I like to talk about how to get to the next level and anything, especially as a motivational themed podcast. But the thing is, you want to keep putting yourself in a position to win. Winning is like a lot of things. You need to learn how to win, and I know for champions, you basically need to tap into that extra gear when the pressure's on. And I know a lot of players out there, they'll put themselves in that position and they'll not collapse, but Rory there for a while kept putting himself in a position and it just wasn't working out. And then finally, wins the Players, wins the Masters. Not his week this week for sure, but he kept putting himself in a position to win. And being able to tap into that next gear is, again, a learned skill. There are certain things you can do to help you in that struggle. And I always talk about the pre-shot routine. The pre-shot routine will take you to a different place mentally. But I love what Jack Nicklaus said. Nicklaus, it's funny because I went through these periods in my life. Like when I was a kid, I love Jack Nicklaus, and at the Golden Bear, I looked up to him, And then in '86, when he won the Masters, everybody, it was just a love fest for Jack. And then I guess as his career started winding down a little bit, murmurs about, the golf ball goes too far and, equipment type of thing. And, it might have come off as a little bit of a sour grapes at that point. And, myself and others were probably like, Jack, hey, your time is probably, past. You got to pass the torch on to the next generation. But, that was a brief period of my life I didn't completely get it because I mean, when you look at Jack, what is that? 18 majors, 17 runner-ups. Think about that. 35 times the man either came in first place or second place at a major championship. I mean, that's crazy. So again, another a classic Jack story, that I love. And I'm paraphrasing the story slightly, but this is if you're looking to get to the next level and never say never. This is the type of stuff that if you engage in mentally can really help. So, vintage, Jack type of story. They'd ask Jack about how did you consider or how did you feel about playing against the greats of your generation? How did you feel playing against the Gary players, slightly older, Arnold Palmer's, against slightly older. But Lee Trevino's, I mean the guys that were the I guess the mecca of golf. And Nicholas said something to the effect of, I didn't play against those guys. And the person who was talking to him said, no, Jack. I mean, how do you feel about playing against the greats of your era, like the legendary players like of your era, the greats? He's like, no, I didn't really play against them. And Jack would do stuff like that, and then basically he came back around to, I don't play against people, okay. I play against the golf course designer. And I sat back, and that's one of those things where you sit back in your chair and you're like, wow, like that's cray-cray, right? So, imagine, you're playing in your club championship or qualifier for an AM or just, on Sundays for a beer with your buddies. And rather than saying, hey, I'm playing against Harry, Steve, and George, like, I'm playing against a golf course designer. So, like, these guys are there with you, but they're irrelevant. They're not playing or competing against you. You're sitting there going, okay, all right, I'm playing this from the green back, like one at our home golf course that we play. It's Robert Trent Jones layout at Rancocas. So a lot of people hit driver off that first tee. And we have, as my team and I, we have a spirited debate a lot about this, and I have a spirited debate with Richie about this. But I had a statistical analysis done over, I guess, 200 or 300 rounds at collegiate golf on our golf course, and it clearly shows that number one, or the fourth hardest hole on the golf course, was number one, and it's not that difficult, but there is out of bounds to the immediate right, and it is a relatively tight driving hole. So, when you're on that tee box, rather than thinking about, oh my gosh, it's a narrow driving hole, or I gotta play against these guys, and like I know that statistically this is the fourth hardest hole on the golf course. Think to yourself, okay, where do I need to put my tee shot to optimize my chance of making bogey at the worst? And at that point, then you back off. You go with a hybrid or whatever you can control the most to put it in the fairway. And you might not be, as if the driver, less than 100 yards in. Let's say you're 150 yards out, but at least you're putting yourself in a position to play the golf hole. So, shout out to Jack on stuff like that. That's just next level thinking, and I think that's stuff that will help you guys out there. And you can do it in life. Like, put yourself in a position to succeed. As many of the people that watch this podcast know, I did a lot like my own father did. My father, before he had his doctorate in education, became a professional motivational speaker and a golf pro. Before he did any of that, he was a high school wrestling and football coach, and he ended up coaching all my teams growing up. And me, as a golf teaching professional, I coached travel baseball, travel basketball, a middle school wrestling team. I helped out the football team, and I mean, I won district championships in baseball, and I took a team that was lost every game by 20 points or more the year before. We were third in our division in South Jersey in basketball at the end. A wrestling team that lost almost every match the year before ended up being in top three in South Jersey. And I would tell you, it's not because of my knowledge of those sports, although I did wrestle and I did play basketball and I did play baseball. Golf is my thing. What I always tell the people around me is what you want to do is put yourself in a position to succeed. For example, like a lot of people that coached sports, they'll put their kid at the pitcher, or they'll put their kid at shortstop, and that's I guess you have that option since you're the coach and you're volunteering your time. But my kid never really played shortstop, and my kid never really was one of our primary pitchers. You put the people in the right positions to succeed, and you optimize your chances of winning. And that's what I like to do in just about everything that I do. So, just food for thought, I should say. Anyway, if you like what we're doing, folks, please, by all means, subscribe. Our subscriptions have been going way up lately, and it wouldn't be possible without you guys. I know. We're actually getting a kick out of it now. We're kidding around, letting the podcast and the shorts marinate because we're turning on, things are blowing up, and that would not be possible without you guys. Also, if you like what we're doing, please rate I Love the Breakfast Ball in the comment section. We've been giving out Starbucks gift cards to the people that have been responding, and we love that. Also, as I always say, if you get something out of the podcast, Jalen, if you're out there, Brother Wine, we get 10% if you're rich and famous. And last, in merch, we have a link on our site if you're looking for Breakfast Ball or South Jersey Golf School merch. By all means, please just click on that. Anyway, folks, thank you as always for watching. I'm your host, Bob Cardia, and I'm just looking forward to seeing that subscription number next week. If you need me, I'm easy to find. You can email the South Jersey Golf Schools on our website, and that will get to me. Anyway, have a great rest of the day, and I'm going to watch the rest of the PGA, and I'll probably tell you about it next week. God bless.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon heart, my bourbon heart. Alcohol, because no great story ever started with "I'll have a salad."